Cool. So, how many of you guys are new to trading, or like pretty new to trading? You can like type in the chat. Don't be shy. I'm trying to help you guys. You're new, okay? How new? Like couple months, couple weeks. Thanks for the support.
As long as you don't quit halfway through.
Okay, Chico. So, hey, that's funny. That's the name of my dog. So we're gonna start with you, or shit, anybody. Anybody got a question? Yeah, they want to ask me by any chance? Okay, I'm gonna just mute everybody real quick. If anybody has a question, let me know real quick. Or we can just go over trying to find setups for tomorrow. Really want to make it more of a Q&A type thing. That way, you guys can understand my signals or understand why I'm playing a certain ticker or anything really, how a candlestick moves, support and resistance, finding trends. You guys let me know. What do you guys want to know? Any questions? Anybody?
Yo, it looks like we might short squeeze tomorrow, huh? Because futures are up right now, and it seems like the 0.75 was priced in.
Let me see. I'm gonna pull up the you said on SPY?
Yeah, SPY and NASDAQ right now, they're both up by a lot.
Okay. So SPY, let's see. Pull it up on a daily. So yeah, right here, what I'm seeing on SPY, I know we got these gaps to fill to the upside. I think we could go to fill them.
Oh shit, the 400 gap.
Yeah, hell yeah, the 400 gap. Yeah, I got 2 fat gaps to fill to the upside, so definitely gonna be looking out for that. See what futures is doing.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I was just reading before the Zoom. Pretty much what Jay Powell, what he said is he's not going to do any more 75 hikes. And supposedly that's going to short squeeze us until the next meeting, but I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't pay attention to news. I'm not a news trader. Or like
price action.
Yeah, price action, charts, technical analysis. That's all I preach.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, okay. So supports on pre-market, supports and resistance on finding trends. But yeah, so anytime you see me play, like I'll never base it off of news. I just think everything's already priced in. But yeah, let's see. I guess we'll go over right here. Muhammad had asked support and resistance and finding trends. So Muhammad, are you asking for me to show you how to find support and resistance and finding trends? Looks like it's at the bottom of the daily trend too. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we can go over that. Let me see. Yeah, no, this is getting ready to do something. Here's ES on the daily. Trying to see if I see any other thing other than just bouncing off this trend line. That's all I'm pretty much seeing. That's it. But how to find a trend? Okay, so trends. You know what an uptrend and a downtrend is, correct, Mohammed? I'm pretty sure it's self-explanatory. But you know, to put it in like to put the definition of it, an uptrend is pretty much a series of higher highs and higher lows. So I'm trying to see if I have like a notepad I can draw on. Not a notepad. I'm gonna use paint. Still haven't learned how to use the whiteboard feature here on you know what, fuck it, I can annotate it here. Okay, so pretty much when you're looking for an uptrend, you can see that this is clearly an uptrend, right? Because price is going up. So that's how you spot a trend. You just look at the candle, I mean, just the whole movement of it, and you can tell we're in an uptrend here. Right here, we're in a downtrend. It's pretty obvious. But pretty much an uptrend is a series of higher highs and higher lows. So it'll look like this pretty much on the chart. It's going up like that. That's an uptrend. And here is the higher low, higher high. Here's a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So uptrend is basically just higher lows and higher highs. It's a series of higher lows and higher highs. And why do we call them higher highs, higher lows? Because right here we have our first low. The next low point or swing low right here is above the previous one. So that's why we say it's a previous. That's why we say it's the higher low, because it's higher than the previous one. So here again, and the downtrend is pretty much the same thing, but opposite. It creates lower lows and lower highs. Lower lows, lower highs. Lower lows, lower highs. Each time it makes a swing high, it's lower than the previous one. Each time it makes a swing low, it's lower than the previous one. So the definition of a downtrend is it's pretty much just a series of lower lows and lower highs. So if you wanted to identify an uptrend or a downtrend, you can pretty much just look at the chart. Could you go over your trades today and your reasons behind them? It looks like it's at the top. Yeah, I can go over my trade. I'll go over Amazon today. I think I just called out 2 signals for the most part. But yeah, I can do that. I'll leave this on like that. So we're gonna go ahead and just try to spot out an uptrend or downtrend, or just try to find a quick, easy way to identify it. Or I'm gonna show you, how easy it is to identify the trend. We're gonna go here. We're gonna clear these drawings. Okay, so Mohammed, I guess I'm gonna just pull up Apple. Let's choose a different stock. We're gonna do Apple here. We're gonna just go ahead and make a new chart, or I mean a new drawing. There you go. That one's blank. Cool. So if you were to look at Apple right now, what can you see? Like, what do you think we're doing? Actually, we'll focus on this area right here. Can you spot the uptrend? It's pretty simple. Boom, uptrend. So that's how you know if we're in an uptrend or downtrend. You just connect the low and you just try to find points where it's touched, like here it touched, bounced up here, here, and almost here. So we pretty much have an uptrend, and most of the time what you want to find is more than one touch to consider it like uptrend or a downtrend. So right here you can see we have multiple touches and bounces off this line, so made it a pretty solid uptrend. And so again, right now with Apple in this little area, you can see that we broke the uptrend pretty much, right? We broke it right here. So that signifies that we are at the end of the downtrend the uptrend has ended. There's no more uptrend. Now we're in a downtrend. We broke the uptrend and now we're heading down. So that's one way to identify that, a trend change. Right now it looks like we're in a downtrend on Apple. If you were to take the low points and the high points, it's all pointing down. horrible. We'll pull up one more. We'll do Tesla maybe. Just connect the lines. That's it. Right here, uptrend. Right here, uptrend. You know, this is a downtrend, obviously. So you can play around like this. And it's like, okay, here we broke the uptrend, right? So now we're in a downtrend. Right here, we broke the downtrend. So now we're back in an uptrend. Right here, we broke the uptrend to the downside. Now back down to the downtrend. And this is just, you know, doing it really quick. Then right here, you can see that we broke the downtrend to the upside and then started trending back up here again. So it's pretty simple. You just have to connect the lines. Now, as far as support and resistance goes, so what you want to do is pretty much look for an area or a level with multiple touches or rejection. So like right here, if you were to take Tesla on the daily, you can see that there's some sort of resistance zone around here. So this is pretty close to this area right here and close to these touches. So this would act as a nice resistance zone for Tesla because every time it literally goes here, what does it do? Rejects. Goes back up, rejects. Goes back up, rejects. So now you know that this 1100 and between 1100 and 1200, there's a huge wall of sellers just posted up. And support and resistance can be more than just a straight line. You know, you have support and resistance on trend lines. This is a support when price is doing this, boom, and bouncing off. That is a support. So you can identify, or you can put support and resistance in like two different categories. I would say dynamic and static. So I guess with static, it's always like it's staying the same. I think that's what static means. I don't know, one of the two, static or dynamic, whichever one. One means that support and resistance pretty much stays fixed somewhere like that. That'd be a fixed resistance right here. But then you have support and resistance like your moving averages, which move like this. Like, you know, moving averages are just moving around like that. But you also have price bouncing off these. But it's not like, you know, nice or whatever. But this is also support. You can say moving averages can act as support and resistance levels as well, or support and resistance, not levels. But so you have trend line support and resistance, you have moving average support and resistance, and then you have your straight line support and resistance, pretty much just your fixed levels. So how do you use fib on them? Let's see. It's not necessary to use Fibonacci retracement or fibs on levels. Like the way I use it just to spot reversals and maybe for pullbacks sometimes, mainly for reversals. Oh, hold on, I got somebody in the waiting room. Damn, I didn't even know that. Let me turn that off. Okay. So Yeah, it's not necessary to use fibs, but we can go over how you can actually utilize the fib, you know, define nice bounce levels, retracements, or I mean like pullbacks. But yeah, Mohammed, do you get it? This about the support and resistance thing? I know it's probably not the best explanation, but support and resistance is where price has bounced off or rejected multiple times in the past. So we'll draw a line here. This is a support. Why? Because this line is supporting this price action. It's just holding nicely. So you can say this is a support. Now, when you're in a downtrend, like so, you can say this trend line is acting as a resistance because every time it comes up, it's resisting. Okay. So that one's pretty easy. Right here. Nice little channel. Same with supply. Yeah, pretty much same with supply and demand, except supply and demand is more of a zone. So if you were to say this is a resistance line, let me clear this out. All right, so you have zone traders and you have your support and resistance, just regular line trading. I do a mixture of both, and I'll show you that in my example for my trade this morning. So right here, one could just put a line here and say, this is my resistance. But you could also take these, like, let's say you mark a level here now. You mark a level up here. You pretty much have, if you were to take this box right here and just draw a box in it, that becomes a zone now, pretty much. It's taking this whole little rejection move. So it's taking this rejection, this one, these right here, this one, a little bit of this. So that would turn into a zone, but you don't have to play zones. But supply and demand is basically the same thing as support and resistance, except it's more of a general, it's more of an area versus a level. It's a whole area. But yeah, this is quick example real quick about the higher highs, lower lows. Right here is a perfect example. You see a higher high here, I mean a high. Now I created a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high maybe, lower low. And then once we broke here, the downtrend was invalid now. We broke the downtrend to the upside here. Okay, so now we're gonna go to, let's see, next question. We'll go over the trades. Yeah, we'll go over the trades in a little bit. I really just want to start the whole beginning with just questions like for the newer traders or for anybody who wants to know the basics. Because I know a lot of I think a good amount of people that join the server, they look at the charts and they're like, man, I don't even know what you're posting. So I want to make it clear. I want to don't just want to give people charts and then just make it more complicated. Somebody has a question. Somebody's raising their hand.
Yo, can I ask you a question?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask you. So I always wondered. So people say place a stop loss, right, all the time. So like 10% or whatever on your trade. So when you're placing a stop, do you place the stop loss on the options contract, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
But how would you know, like, for example, if you're placing a 10% stop on the options contract, how would you know what the stock price would be at that 10% loss, if you get what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying. So I have a way, like the way I trade my options, it's probably going to be a lot different than anybody you've ever heard of trading them. So Are you familiar with options having their own chart?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is basically what I have right here.
The contract chart, right?
Yeah, so if
Yeah,
you look
yeah.
at these are the contracts I took this morning. I took the 105 calls, but if you look at compare the price action to the chart with the actual stock chart, here I'll pull up Amazon, and this is
All
gonna
right.
fucking blow your mind, dude. This is like golden, so you guys get ready for some fucking gems. All right, let's go. Where we at? We're on Amazon. We're gonna go to 1 minute on Amazon.
All right.
Okay, so just take a look at this move right here. This break, this 105 break, right?
Okay.
And now compare this with the option. Does that not look the same? So the contracts here were $240 a piece, 240. But look, you see my crosshair tool here on the actual stock chart, and look how they synchronize perfect. If you were to
Right.
take this break right here at the 105 break, and you were to buy a contract at 240, you could have wrote it up. You know, this break equals this break. It's the same thing. If you look at price action, it's
Okay.
literally this whole chunk right there.
All right. Got it. Okay. Thank you, bro. That kind of answered that, I guess. But
Yes, sir.
does this kind of like weigh into effect with all tickers or just like some tickers in particular?
All tickers, but look, so the thing is, the way you have to utilize, well, this strategy or the way I do it, you need to make sure you're picking the right contract. So I'll show you what a fucked up contract looks like compared to a nice contract.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and just.
Also, when you pick your contracts, are you like, or do you? I guess usually scalp, right?
Yes, sir.
So when you're picking your contracts, do you usually go like zero, like the same day expiration, and like go like $1 or $2 out the money?
Yeah, so I go far out the money sometimes. Like when it comes to
Okay.
SPX, I probably go like fucking $30-$40 out the money. But those things
Wow.
print, and I can show you in a minute. So utilizing
Okay.
this chart had pretty much changed my whole game. So like if you're just tracking price, like right here, starting on the day, the contracts opened up at 190 a piece, and they started writing up. When this started writing up, you know, it's moving. So right here, you're seeing the
Right.
contracts move in real time. So at the beginning, when I was trading options, I would open a contract and it's just moving, right? You're just seeing it bounce from plus 5% back down to negative 15%, back up to like fucking, they're just moving up and down. And I always wondered, why the fuck is it moving like that? But once I figured out that, oh shit, these contracts, you can play them like their own tickers pretty much, because each contract has their own chart.
Correct.
Once I was able to actually see the movement on a chart, now I can gauge, you know, where I can set my stop loss. So like right here, let's say you're looking at the contract chart. You get in for a break here and you're like, there's support here on the actual contract chart. Let me just go ahead and set my stop loss right there around 230. I'm gonna get in around 240. Stop loss here if we break below this last area bounced at. So if you were to, you can set it there, 220.
But like this will only depend if they both are kind of the same, right?
Yes, but that's the thing. You only want to take, well, me, I only want to take, and I would suggest for anybody, only take contracts that are doing the pretty similar patterns, pretty similar
Okay, got it.
movement, moving the same, and make sure the candlesticks on the contracts are nice and full. So this is what I consider nice and full. You can make out the picture, they're full body
Right.
candlesticks. Let me pull up a nasty chart, another Amazon chart. If you were to play Amazon today, I'm gonna pull up the
Also, you know, you said you play SPX. That's usually for like bigger accounts, yeah? Or can you still play that with a smaller account?
No, I only play SPX. I only buy contracts that cost less than like $60.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, and those bitches always hit 100% plus. I'll show you why. So, okay. And there's a hack to this, to picking your contracts. I'll show you guys how to choose your contracts in a minute. Okay, all right. Oh yeah, so this is where I'll set my stop loss, by the way. I use this right here, pretty much to buy and sell. Do you use Active Trader?
No, I'm not. I don't have Thinkorswim because I'm not from the States. I'm from Canada.
Damn, yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
Thinkorswim is
So
lit because right
I
here,
know.
like this little area is pretty much right here. And you can see me moving, you know, it's moving right here. And I
Yeah,
can
just
place my buy, like if I wanted to buy right here at the breakout, but put a limit here, and then I can set my stop around down here.
yeah, that's proper.
Yeah, so right here would be your stop loss if price was to reverse and try to fucking tank right there. Because when they tank, they fucking tank. So let me pull up,
Got it.
all right, this is an example of a full body chart. So these are the 105 calls. 105 calls, these bitches winning the money down. What the hell? Okay, so the way I choose my contracts, you see this right here, right? Focus on this. You see, I have volume and open interest open, right?
Mhm.
But what you want to see is volume. Volume over open interest. You want the volume to be higher than the open interest. I'm gonna fucking move some of this shit out of the way before it gets too crowded. God, my bad, man. I'm still trying to learn to use this shit.
No, you're good.
Okay, whatever. Here, volume. There you go. This is horrible. All right, the volume over open interest. And so all right, so we're gonna look at this area right here, volume over open interest. I suggest you guys pull that up on your options chain in order to be able to identify which contracts to play. All right, so volume over open interest. It doesn't always have to be that way, but those are the ideal contracts you want to play. So right here, let's say these 105s. You see these 105s? The way I would choose my contracts, I mean, there's 109.5s. I would choose my I wouldn't go for these. Yeah, they're closer in the money, but look at that volume, 2K. Which ones are more ideal? These.
104.
Look at that fucking volume. These are the ones everybody's playing. You know, you want to play contracts that everybody's playing.
Right.
So these are the ones you're gonna go for, and I can show you the difference between the two right here on the actual chart. You'll see the difference in volume. So I'm gonna pull up the 109.5s, the ones that are closer in the money. Can you make something out of that?
Fuck, nothing.
Exactly. Now look at these. Look at the 110s. Look at the 110s. They're further out the money. They got more volume. They're better. They're better. They're not the best, but you can at least make out the freaking pattern I played earlier today off them.
Yeah, you could.
So if you would have bought these, and these are cheap. So these, when market opened up, we were under 105. We were under 104. We were around here. We opened up here. These were way all the way down here. They're the 110 calls. But look, if you would have bought them at 60 a piece, these bitches ran. You know, they went up to they probably went higher. Yeah, they ran up all the way to 120 a piece. That's like that's 100% return right there. And they went higher. They went up to 1.7.
Wow.
So you can go far out the money. And I'll show you some SPX. Those are my favorite examples to give. If there's any, after hours, usually the volume clears up, so it's hard to make them out. Yeah, I won't be able to show you an example here with SPX, but okay, maybe like these right here. So for the ones that are expiring on the 17th, the ideal contracts that you would choose would be like the 3800s for calls because the open interest is pretty high. These 3900s look nice. Got some nice volume.
Like the 28.
These here.
So basically, you're saying the options contract with more volume is more. The chart looks a lot more similar to the actual ticker.
Yeah. So so with that, you're gonna get smooth movements, like smooth percentages. Pretty much, it's gonna be like pretty smooth. I mean, you'll have your spikes and stuff, but when you're doing the little dots thing, like let's go back to Amazon real quick. the ones that just show dots, they skip around a lot. And they're harder to sell. So let's say we're gonna take that and we're gonna just put a fucking another chart on there right here. It's gonna be number 6. We're gonna compare it with the 110s, and we're gonna try to make up the what you would call it, the pattern or whatever.
Yo, Zeus, how long have you been trading for?
I would say I started taking it serious. I've been trading. I guess I've been involved in trading. I started July 2020, so like 2 years. 2 years.
That's proper.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I didn't really start taking it serious till like
Yeah,
I would
hear
say
you.
a year and a half maybe. I've been really giving it my all.
It's proper.
Appreciate it. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, remove these studies.
Wait, are you in any of the Kevin's trade stuff or not?
No, TCX. I think I got my subscription when I first started. I canceled
Hello?
it, and they never kicked me
Yeah.
out. So I just been around since. Yeah.
Hear
I'm
you.
not on top of that, man.
Yeah, they're not still.
All right, you guys. I'm gonna just go over this last thing, and then I'll probably answer the next person's question real quick. What am I trying to get at here? Oh yeah, the volume. Okay. So we're gonna compare today's price action on these 110 calls versus the 109.5s. The ones that are further out the money are fucking better than the ones that are closer in the money. You know, everybody says go in the money, go closer in the money, they're safer. Fuck no, they're not safer. Look at this shit. I'm trying to find the start of the day. Right here.
You can't even look at the chart on the left, bro. It's fucked.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. The way I want to see the options I choose, they better paint me a good picture, because this, if I can't make shit out of it, I don't want it. Like, all right, so right here, these are candlesticks, but there's no volume in them. So who the fuck are you gonna sell to when it's time to sell? You know, if you don't have buyers and sellers there, like, it's gonna be hard to fucking get rid of your contract. You know, you'll get in a position, let's say you try to fucking sell it here in this space. Try to sell it anywhere between 140 to 125. There's a fucking gap. And this is what I'm talking about. Your contract, if you choose the wrong ones, they'll jump. So right here, you'll see that you were at 123 and these bitches jump to 151. Yeah, it's nice, but it'll be harder to fucking sell. It's pretty much the same move. Let me see, where is it? It's pretty much this big move it did right here. Except you're able to see it better. This was probably a full candlestick. I'm trying to find that breakout, this breakout right here. It's right here. It's around here. I wouldn't have saw that, you know what I mean? If I wasn't looking at a contract with the nice price action, I probably wouldn't be able to spot that out. And shit, you know, if you try to buy some, you probably won't get filled. I mean, maybe if you hit like market buy, but you'll probably get filled. Like these spreads are probably shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always look for tight spreads. I look for full, you know, I always pull up the chart. My setup is like this. What's that, active trader? I have this. It's not like on another monitor, but it's basically my setup on my other monitor is like this.
So you execute on Thinkorswim as well, right?
Yeah, and I chart on Thinkorswim. So this is what my monitor looks like. I have the contracts here. So whenever, let's say I want to play Apple, boom, I just pull it up. Usually, yeah, I'll pull it up like that, and then I'm seeing which ones are nice. I'm like, okay, I like these, you know, looking for the bigger number. I like these 140 calls right here. They're pretty cheap. They're cheaper than the closer to the money. They got more volume. I'm gonna take these.
Mm,
Send it here. I send it to this chart, and then it sends it to this ladder, and this is the price, on the ladder. So you can see it.
getting or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much going up and down. So right here, I'm just sending my contracts to the option chart, and then it's linking up with this ladder. So I'll have this on a separate monitor for executing my trades, and then the ones I'm looking at, the actual trade or play I'm looking at is gonna be on this monitor right here. Yeah, I'll have it like this. Like I have multiple time frames. I'm just looking
So
at it.
you got 2 screens though, right?
3 screens.
3 screens? Okay.
Yeah.
For when you scout, what time frames do you really focus on?
What's up?
I said when you scout, right? When you're looking at your stock, what's the best time frames to look at?
When you're 1
Scalping.
minute. 1 minute.
Okay.
So you wanna pretty much what I do is I use higher time frames to gauge the direction of where we're going. So like right here, let's say on Amazon, I noticed today that we've bounced. All right, so before we bounced today, before we had this big breakout, this was the play I had, this descending triangle. Here, we'll pull it up on a bigger screen. I was able to identify an area that we bounced previously at. So this is the 4 hour. We'll pull it up on the daily. It looks better. If you were to take a blank chart, let me put a blank chart. All right, so just looking at Amazon right off the bat on the daily chart, I'll start with the higher time frame just to see where price is going. Like what's the dominant move? The bigger move is actually making. So right here, I noticed before we printed this green candle today, it was this red candle last night or this morning. I noticed, okay, we bounced here, we bounced here. We were here, we were sitting here before this green candle came out of nowhere. We were sitting there, so I was like, okay, what could I expect to happen here? There's 2 things that could happen. If I draw a straight line, you can see that it's a pretty good bounce area. I was like, 2 things can happen here. We can either bounce like we've done the previous 2 times we've hit this level, or we're gonna break downside. So now what I do from here is I'm watching. I go down to a lower time frame pretty much to try to capture the next bigger move, I guess the smaller bigger move, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
To see where I'm going short term, because since we're scalpers and we're scalping off of like a 1 minute, 3 minute chart, you want to trade with the trend. You don't want to scalp against it, because then you just risk to rewards is not it there. So we'll clear this right here. After I realize, I see where we are on the daily and what, get an idea of what we might do, I'll go down like 4 hour and see if I can identify anything there. So, oh yeah, what I also identified here on the daily was that we had 2 huge gaps to fill to the upside. We had this gap on the daily, and we had this gap here on the daily. And gaps, most of the time they get filled. So this is what added more of a bullish bias or a bounce bias for me, was just these 2 gaps to fill to the upside, and the fact that we bounced here the last 2 times we were here. So that's why I had a bullish bias on this. I had a bearish bias too. I had either side really, depending on where it broke. So after seeing that, okay, we have a bullish, we have these gaps to fill to the upside. Let's go down to the daily and see what we can find. The 4 hour. So now we're at the 4 hour. Now it's starting to look a little clearer, like more clear, right? I noticed that, okay, we bounced here. We formed a fallen wedge here. Fallen wedge pattern, broke out to the upside. And then what I noticed here is that we were forming a descending triangle pattern, pretty much this pattern right here. So Are you familiar with like chart patterns? So pretty much this right here. This is this. So I know with descending triangles, they most of the time, well, from my experience, they break downside, but they're neutral patterns. They break, you know, either side. So I just wait for the break. Like if this was to take a break right here, I would have took puts. Let me change the color of it. Yeah, we would have broke here, like right there. I would have took puts, but I know we could also break upside. So if it broke here, I'm going in for calls, right? And also this is you guys hear Zeus? Can you hear me? Mowgli trades. This will go with your question, Alan, about going over my trades today and my reasoning. So I can go over this and the question that I was just asked. So right there, man, y'all help me out. Where the fuck was I? Just lost my train of thought. Damn, Ugly Trades, you can't hear me. Let me see. Maybe you muted yourself or something. You can try to get out and come back in here. I can damn, I'm over here fucking up. All right. Where the fuck was I? I was saying, all right, so I noticed that we bounced here, here. Bro, I really lost my train of thought. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. You good?
All right. Where was I, bro? I completely just fucking lost myself.
You said
You were
you're,
talking about ascending and descending triangle.
Okay, yeah. So,
Pick
but I
a
was
break
also,
up or down.
oh yeah. So, all right. So I noticed that we bounced here, and we were floating here before the open. We were floating around there, so I had the bias of either we could take upside or we could take downside. So from the daily, I saw these bounce points right here, connected the lines, saw we were there. Went down to the lower time frame, 4 hour. I identified this descending triangle, and with descending triangles, they break either side. So I'm not really stuck on one side. I play both sides. Just whichever side it breaks, then that's where we're going. So we take upside, we're going upside. We break downside, we're going downside. We're gonna take puts. We're gonna take calls on the break the upside. So right here, I noticed that I didn't really see it till we got down to the 1 hour though. So once you get to the 1 hour, it's a clearer picture. It's really clear. I think right here around was like 9. Yeah, 9. We'll pull it up in the 30-minute chart in a minute because we did catch the break. So that's why I'm using multi-time frame analysis is really clutch because then you can just start breaking down everything and trying to find a good sniper entry. Let me see annotation. Let me clear these out. Okay. So now that we're on the hourly, what else? 4.5. If you were to take a line here, there's a nice support right there around here-ish. I have more levels than this, so it's really hard to explain how I scout, but I can pull up my levels in a minute. All right, so just take from this that what was your question? What was your initial question? mildly. Like, my bad, man. Like, trying to see what was the question? Yeah, man. Yeah, no problem, man. All right, cool. I guess we'll just move on to the next one. But all right, to go on, to answer your question, Alan, or go over the trade, pretty much my reasoning today. We're gonna pull up the levels that I had already. I don't know if you saw my last class or if you were in it, or if you saw my recording on how I marked my levels pretty much. I don't want to go over that right now since I already went over it a 2.5 hour class the other day. You can catch it on YouTube, but pretty much after you have your levels marked, you identified all this, you identify that, okay, we can break upside here, or we can break downside. You're just waiting. You pretty much just wait. If price broke here, then I'm taking puts, but we never broke down. We broke up. We broke right here to the upside. So this is the main area I was looking for to pretty much stick me in the calls, or put me in a bull mindset to be like, okay, so we break this pattern, it's gonna go up, it's gonna rip. And I'm good to scalp calls all day long here. I'll be fine to scalp calls, I'm safe. Now in here, if you're trying to fucking scalp anything in here, you're sideways, you're just chopping around, so you're probably getting stopped out, chopped out. Right here, if we broke downside, you're safe to play puts all day long. Right here, we broke upside, you're safe to play calls. And then if you look at it the way I had it charted here, so I pretty much had these zones set. So once you have all these levels set, like I said earlier about connecting or finding boxes, you can make zones out of levels. You'll see that I had this zone right here. So we broke downside on this, pretty much this blue box right here. If we were to take downside on this, I would have gotten puts, but I wouldn't have gotten in until we broke 101.5 pretty much. So right here, out of this blue box, because anything in this blue box, it just goes right back up here. Once we went up, hit it here again, kind of slightly went up, pulled back down here again, up, we came back down with it, and now we're up again. So that's a pretty strong buying zone. You don't want to get in a short position anywhere above it or like slightly above it, because it could just reject and bounce right off it. So I want to wait for this actual zone to break to the downside before I get into my bearish mindset. Same thing with upside here. I noticed that there was a zone. So what I pretty much did here is, once I had all my levels marked, I noticed that these two lines right here, if I was to take this box and pretty much make a box, it just makes it, it just kind of touches it perfect. Like right here, you can see that it held that candlestick nicely. These candlesticks closed right on it or opened right on it. It just looked like a really good zone based off the levels I already had marked, and just being able to draw a box. It looked nice. So I was telling my server and everybody to take calls here at the 103.5, 104 break. I think we ended up going for the 104.5. So what we did here was we went down to a smaller time frame. Once you have this higher time frame pattern, pretty much you have your direction set. If it breaks this blue box, I'm going up, I'm playing calls. If it breaks this pattern and this blue box downside, I'm playing puts. Right here, we're obviously breaking up, so now I'm in my bullish mindset, because the higher time frames, it's breaking to the upside. So, and this is an hourly chart, which is very big compared to a 1 minute chart. Oops. I'm gonna remove this trend line. Okay, there you go. All right, so now we're scaling down to the 1 minute, and I'm gonna show you why I took Amazon and how I scalped it. So we go down to the 1 minute, and I'll do a multi-time frame analysis on this. We'll do grid. Okay, So this is basically, I have my shit set up. I have a 1 hour chart here just to be tracking the big move. So when we opened up this morning, we did not break this triangle. We were not breaking this triangle yet. And I can show you real quick where we were this morning. Bear with me. Okay, so if you look at my analysis from this morning, you can see that I said keeping an eye on Amazon today, monthly chart. So I noticed the monthly chart, it was actually on this. So on the monthly chart too, right here, we rejected once, rejected here, and then we fucking broke. So I pulled up the monthly chart. I see that we're literally sitting on this level that used to be resistance. We broke hard, heavy as fuck. Now we're retesting it, and it's probably gonna test it as support now. So from there, I went down to the daily, and you know, that's where you were able to see better touches right here on the daily. I didn't get to post that one on my thing, but once you zoom in the daily, you're like, damn, okay, so this level is pretty significant because it's this level, this little area, and if you look at it on the monthly, it's pretty much, yeah, this area. So that was this is how it was this morning. I seen that it was on a strong fucking level, monthly level, and then I seen this setting up. So this is where it was before market open. Circled right here, the area that I was looking for the breakout. And I said above 104.5 here. So this is the 1 minute chart. Now scaled into the 1 minute, you're able to see these tinier movements play out, and we can actually go there right now. All right, so you see that this was on the hourly, but now we're scaled into a 1 minute chart. So you're getting a really fucking detailed view of everything that's going on inside that triangle. So this is the hourly. I should probably keep the chat box up. Okay, so this is the hourly, and then I have my 1 minute set over here. And as you can see it on the 1 minute, basically the break area, if you look at my crosshair tool, this little area here on the 1 minute and on the hourly, it's in the same area. So I'm sniping into a position, to this bigger move position, using a smaller time frame. So here I have a 5 minute too. I have a 5 minute chart that I'm looking at just in case there's any 5 minute patterns. So all this is the same shit, just different time frames, so I can you know, find good entries. So I noticed that there was this zone setting up, and once we blew right through it, then you know, then I know we're gonna break. We're breaking the zone to the upside. We're breaking the descending triangle to the upside, and we're bouncing off that daily, monthly support now that we bounced off heavily, you know, the last 2 times. So now that all leads me to believe that, okay, we're gonna fucking rip, we're going upside, because we got the bounces on the daily, the monthly, we got a break, you know, we have this little seller zone, and if we fucking blow right through it, then we're going up. Pretty much you have all these signs pointing to the upside. And now what I do on the 1 minute is you take this big pattern, you put on the 1 minute chart like so. And you zoom in, you pretty much snipe it into the position. So this is the area of the 1 hour descending triangle, the break area. As you can see, right during pre-market, I couldn't really take this break, this 104 break. I didn't want to take right at the open, you know what I mean? So what I did was I waited for this to break, this level, this next level, this 104.5. I have these levels already set before these candlesticks start printing, so I'm not adding these levels. They're already there the day before, the morning before. I just wait for price to set up. So right here, I noticed that, okay, we opened up. We touched this level like multiple times. Look at all these candlesticks just rejecting this level. So now I'm like, okay, right here, probably would have faked some people out. But I noticed these multiple rejections, and I normally don't like to take the first break. I really don't like to take the first break because it's always a freaking fake pop, makes you sell, and then ends up ripping for it. So notice that we were rejecting there, waited. I saw this hammer form. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with hammers. I saw this hammer get dropped right here on this supply zone that we blew right through. Pretty much retesting the supply zone. It dropped that hammer. And it led me to believe that we were going to bounce pretty much. So once I just waited, I waited for us to break back over this zone and pretty much come back to retest this orange line because we had a hard time breaking it earlier. I knew like once we came back for it, we were going to go for it. And pretty much what I did is I got in here. I got out here. That's it. From this line, I took profit. It wasn't much. It was like maybe 20% or so or something like that. So that was one play I called out. That was the only play I took. I called out 2 plays today. That was it. Really, just literally from this candlestick, 1, 2, 3, about 3-minute move. I took profit here. I didn't want to wait for it to actually touch the level. I always saw a little before it gets to the level because everybody's selling at the same area. So it's like, it gets harder to sell once you're actually there. Yeah, no problem, Alan. Yes, sir. Fucking, feel free to join us or join me whenever. I still have my own server. If you're not in my server, let me know. I can drop the link too. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's why I took it, because we broke out of the descending triangle to the upside. We broke it here. Now I just waited. I pretty much just waited for price to just try to push higher. Right here, you can see that we didn't break any lower. If price was to come back down and break back under this blue box, then calls are off the table. You know what I mean? I'm not even thinking about playing nothing now because now I'm just waiting for either price to do this all day, bounce in between these zones, and pretty much just wait for it to find a direction out of those zones, either to break up or down out of those zones. But in this case, we broke out of it, we retested it, and we pulled back up and pushed higher. So that was one trade I took today for a scalp. That was the only trade I took today for a scalp. I had to go pretty early. I'm getting married in 2 days, so we got a lot going on right now. Okay, so that was one play I called out. Appreciate it, man. It's crazy. I'm over here trying to juggle my fucking trading life. All right, so right here would have been nice. I got in here, took profit here. That's it. And when it comes to having these levels set, you can just scalp them from level to level. You get in one level and you just take profit at your next level, and that should be it. I noticed the second play I called out was this one. I noticed this falling wedge setting up. Show you flowers. I'll do that, man. Make sure you're next in line. All right. So right here, I pretty much said if we break, all right, so the first time we broke 104.5, right? Right here, we had a hard time breaking it. Right here, we actually broke it. I took it, boom. We rejected, tapped it again, rejected, fell slightly under this 104.6. So now I'm just sitting, I'm waiting, I'm letting price set up. I see we break under that 106, I mean that 104 right here. See it slightly break, but I also noticed that we have this fallen wedge pattern, which fallen wedge patterns are bullish patterns. So when you see this, just know that they're supposed to break upside. So seeing that pretty much put me back in my bullish bias again. So right here, once we fell under, I was like, oh shit, we're going back to this fucking blue box again. I saw that we formed this fallen wedge and that we're still right above the level. I mean, this supply zone now that we just busted right through. So as long as we're still holding above this, then we're good. You know, calls are still on the table. Unless we, like I said, we broke under it. If we broke under it, they're off the table. But we're holding above it. We're holding above this this zone. Saw this pattern, and now I'm like, okay, it's setting up near my level pretty much right here. There's 104. We're just gonna say 104.5 just to make it an even number around there. 104.5. I liked it better at 104.46. Anyways, so we see this fallen wedge setting up, and I tell people, you know, if we break back above 104.5, we're gonna break this bullish pattern of the upside with it. So I'm like, okay, you know, if we break back above 104.5, take calls. What the fuck did we do? We fucking went to 104.5. I told everybody takes profit here at 105. Because what I do, like I said, I'm a level to level scalper. I'm just profiting off these small moves on the minute chart. So if you look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7 minutes. This was a 7-minute play. That was the second play I called out. There was more. They set up a lot throughout the day. I was busy. I missed a lot of plays. Here was another one. It's like a bull flag break or something. We broke this level, this 105 level. We broke it with breaking this channel or this bull flag at the same time, and your profit target would have been right here or here if it kept going. But this is where I would have took profit if I would have got in there. And then, yeah, pretty much lots of setups throughout the day. Nice setups. And then this setup was pretty fire too. But yeah, so that's pretty much just going over my 2 trades that I one I took, you know, with whoever was fucking taking them with me, and second one right here was one that I called out that I didn't get a chance to take. I wasn't behind my PC at the time. So yeah, that pretty much sums that up. Let me see if I have any other questions. Do you guys have any questions about my trades today? No? All right, cool. We'll move on. Let me see any more questions that I missed. Stop losses, please. Oh, that's the same guy. He left. How do you size in? Anybody else got any other questions? I can answer your question about sizing in. I mean, that's just really up to you about sizing in. It's just up to your account, your risk tolerance, the setup too. Yeah, there's so many things that play a role into like sizing in. You know, if it's like a low quality trade, like but you still just want to be in a trade, you know, take it light, see how it's acting, and then, you know, if you feel like it's just gonna keep going, then, you know, maybe add a little more to it. But for the most part, I don't add more on the first. I just get in right here on the first break or whatever. But I size in. I tried to like size in pretty heavy. Today wasn't the day. Today was not the day to try to size in heavy. So because of FOMC. But yeah, sizing up is just a question of really how big your account is, how much risk you can take, how much red you can stomach. All that plays a role in it. Any other questions?
What do you think happens tomorrow in the market?
Tomorrow, pull up futures and see what it's looking like.
It's looking a little ruggy. Could be a big pullback.
Let me see. Okay, so we're gonna pull up the daily here on I'm gonna move these lines. I don't really look at futures, but since you asked, what do you think we're doing tomorrow? Might as well pull up futures, see where they're at. Yeah, normally I just wait normally. Like once you have these levels set, you just have to wait till the morning and just pretty much like if you look at, for example, here, you don't even have to look at the bigger time frames really. You can just scalp these levels all day long. We'll pull up Apple. I don't know if Apple did anything crazy today. But we have Apple. We have these levels set, right? We have these levels. These levels, I had them already set. This is from my last class that I set. Maybe I set it the day before this one. Yep, I did an example here. Pretty much, this was the cheat sheet I made. I don't know if you're able to look at that. But these levels, I set them on this day, and then we can go over see how they played out on these days right here. So I didn't adjust them these days, but you'll see how these levels get respected and how you can play them every day. So like in this case, the next day after I marked the levels already, the next day over, this hasn't happened yet, but the levels are here. So the way I would go about this is, like I said, I look at the higher time frame to try to gauge the direction. But once you have these levels set, and this is why I said I don't really look at futures or try to guess where the market's going until the next morning. Right here, you can see we're breaking levels, right? Just breaking levels after levels after levels. I'm not seeing any good setups. When I see that it's just breaking levels, I leave it alone. I don't want to take it just because it's breaking a level. I want to see something set up at a level. So here, I'll notice that, okay, we're just breaking through here. We're just breaking through here. We're just breaking through here. And then maybe this probably would have been a good opportunity to scalp right here. Pretty much. Now you're seeing that, okay, we're bouncing right in between these two lines, right? Just bouncing. Now you have a good trade opportunity. Now you know that if we break this level here, we're pretty much going to go to the next one, this one right here. Or if we break this one, go here. I missed the level probably. I'm sure there was one there right here because you can see. But that would have been a good level right there. You would have took this break and just scalped it to this level. So like I said, level to level. That would have been a good opportunity. And that's pretty much sometimes what I do. I don't even try to figure out what the market's doing. I just let price set itself up on a day on these levels. So if you were to look at price action here, you would notice that, okay, there's like a whatchamacallit, symmetrical triangle setting up here on these levels. Now, which level is the important level? My bad, I didn't mean for my voice to crack. That's horrible. Oh man, this is gonna be on YouTube. All right, so we noticed that this level right here, we broke it, but we failed to hold it, right? This yellow line. We came close here, barely. Right here, we touched it again, rejected. So we know that there's some sort of resistance there. Who pulled the lag switch? So we know there's resistance here or near this yellow line, pretty much right here. So what I would be watching for is a break of this level, because if you just take the main area break of this triangle pattern, it's really close to this orange level. And if you see that, we rejected right before we pulled right back up to retest it here. We rejected this orange line. So while price is printing, I'm just waiting for shit to set up, and then I'll notice something like this, and then this is where I'm like, okay, this is a good trade opportunity, you know, because this pattern is symmetrical triangle. It's this pattern right here. That open image. right? Kind of looks like it.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much, yeah, this is this. But symmetrical triangles, they are neutral patterns. They are they break either side. So this, you can have either a break up here, or you're gonna have a break to the downside. In order for me to have a bearish bias on this, I will need it to break downside. I would need to break this orange line, this pink line. Because if I was expecting a downside break here around the symmetrical triangle break, this level is the closest to that breakout point. So I would pretty much scalp the downside there and, scalp it to this next line and be out there. I would just pretty much take it there. Like in this case, we broke upside out of the triangle and we broke this level. You get in here, take profit here. That's pretty much it. So, but as the day's going on, I don't know if this is gonna set up. I'm just waiting for something to set up. What else? What else is a good one? I'm trying to find another good little area. We'll go over today, see what kind of price action we got today. I didn't get to see Apple and how it played out with these levels. And then we can go back to the futures. So we'll pull up the day. Was there anything nice today? Choppy. Okay, maybe here, maybe no. It's a choppy move, but like you have like a little bull flag looking pattern here at a level, pretty much. So right here, I'm seeing nothing set up. It's just chopping. I'm not seeing any clear patterns. The only thing that was pretty clear, maybe it was like looked like oh, it was the same thing, symmetrical triangle. Yep. So pretty much, I wouldn't have probably made that out right there, not on the 1 minute, but you would wait for something to set up like this. So these levels are here already set in the day. You're just waiting for price to set a pattern up at the levels, and you're just trying to identify the breakpoints and align those up with the levels you already have. So like in this case, the breakout point was around here. It did get choppy. If you try to take a break, you probably would have either got shooken out. Not the cleanest break, but right here we still broke the level. It'd be the same shit. You're taking a break out of the pattern, taking the break of this level of this 134.29, and you're just scalping it to this green level, to the next level, pretty much. It's 133.8, and you took profit there. Here on this bull flag, you right here, I'm not seeing anything clean, no clean price action. Until we got here, I'm saying, okay, we're forming a little bull flag right at the level. It's gonna break out of the bull flag and the level at the same time. So this is gonna be my entry. I'm gonna find an entry there. We have two breakouts. We have a level break and we have the bull flag break. So now we get in here for calls and we're gonna scalp them to this to this next level. And you can see that we kind of got really close before we fell, but then we still pushed above it. Like you could have held it even if it didn't hit your profit target. You still had a chance, come back. And it came back and touched it anyways. But me, this is why I like to take my profit earlier before it hits my level. So I probably would have been out around here-ish. I probably would have took my profit there, selling while everybody's still buying, because when everybody's selling at the same time right here and you're trying to sell, you're not gonna have a buyer buying your contract. It's gonna be really tough. They're just gonna see the contracts drop dramatically. Drastically, whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I have these levels in place. I don't really care what price is doing or where it's going. I'm not gonna be here trying to time the market. It's another good one right here. You would have noticed price setting up something like this. Boom. Probably would have used this zone. So now we have a zone actually here. I'm just pretty much taking these two lines and drawing a box because I'm seeing that we're rejecting here. Like we went like this, came down, came back to the tip of the box, came down. It just made a really good thingy. I don't know. My eyes pick these on up pretty well. I don't know if I'm pretty good at explaining it though. But it's pretty much just taking these two resistances or support and resistances and drawing a box in it because it just looks good. Basically, in a way. Right here, you can see here, maybe I can try to explain it better. So if we were to take these line, this yellow line and this orange line, you can see that we're rejecting here, right? This little move right here. Rejecting it right there at the top of the box. And then right here, we're rejecting. And then right here, these wicks are rejecting right at the bottom of the box. So it's just pretty much just this whole area, this zone. So now you know that if we break this fucking pattern and the zone at the same time, you can get in for calls. So in this case, this profit target was too close. You could hold them longer, and you know probably take them up to here, pretty much the high of the pattern, or the last point we rejected. That would have been a great profit target. Or right here, you know, as you know, if you miss this move, fuck it. You know, as a scalper, you see how many moves we can catch in a day. That's one move. Here's two. That would have been a third move you could have caught. And then here, if you miss this one, just wait. Just keep waiting. Right here, I'm not saying nothing set up beautifully. Nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. But wait, we get right here. You know, we start forming this little bearish pennant. Forming in between, like, you know, chopping around near a level, pretty much this level. So now I'm just like, okay, we break downside on this and we keep rejecting this 135.82. I'm going to take puts right here. This profit target would have been too close, but this candle just ate right through it. My next profit target would have been here, which is pretty close to the break area of this triangle. Easier said than done, just because, you know, I've been doing this shit for a while. So I'm just already programmed to know what to look for. But we can pull up ES real quick and see where we're headed. And we'll probably go on for another maybe 15, 20 minutes and then we can call it a night. All right, so we're pulling up ES on the daily and we'll remove those lines on futures. Okay, so just looking at futures off the daily, I'm gonna go ahead and just connect these low points. So I start to figure out where we're trending or where, you know, any nice support and resistance levels, trend lines right there. I'm seeing that we bounced here. We held here nicely, bounced or whatever. Bounced here, bounced here. Pretty much same shit with Amazon. You know, we're seeing that be in that area where it could potentially bounce. Is SPY better for smaller accounts or SPX? It depends on your style. SPY is safer, and yeah, better for if you want to play in the money contract or closer in the money, on the money, or at the money contracts. Those terms confuse me. So we'll just say at the money, not in the money. So at the money, let's see, hold on, I gotta. Yes, sir, no problem, Pedro. Have a good night. Feel free to no, are you on my server? If you're not, you should feel free to join here. I'm just gonna drop the link if you guys are not in here. And then we'll go back to that. You look for patterns on levels. Yes, I do look for patterns on levels. That is my biggest thing. Like, it needs to be a level at the pattern break. Pretty much, it needs to break the pattern and the level at the same time in order for it to be a high quality setup for me, at least. That's what I look for specifically. So back to ES, as you saw on Amazon, pretty much same thing. You'll notice on the higher time frame where we're bouncing at. So now we see where we are on ES. We're here. What could you expect the next move to be on ES after, you know, I can see in every time we come here? You can expect our next move to probably be something like that, bouncing up. But right now we're chopping. We're pretty much just sideways here until we figure out what we want to do here in this box. Either break up, or we could come back down and break down. So really an area where we could do anything. We can pretty much either go up to fill these gaps or fill that gap, or break down to fall even lower. But if you were to take, let me see, these two right here, there's a resistance right there. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this and this. Okay, so we pulled up daily, we're on ES, we see ES is hanging out right here where we could potentially bounce. So right here we have a resistance pretty much. When we hit this, we just reject every time. We just keep falling lower. Every time we go up, we come down. We go up to touch it, we come down. We go up to touch it, we come down. And this is what I was saying about the lower highs and higher low thing, downtrend. We have a high here. Now we have a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we're currently in a downtrend on ES, but we are at a level where we could either bounce up or down. So that's pretty much the only bias I have here. Is we can go either way. If we go down to the 4 hour, trying to snipe in on what it's, you know, what it may be doing, or try to get a better idea of what it could do short term wise. Pretty much we're rounding right here. So what I'm a pattern trader. I studied patterns like a lot, extensively, like more than I probably should have. I see a rounding bottom here pretty much. So when you have these rounding bottoms, it's pretty much a bullish indication. So I'm gonna take my drawing tool. You see how it's starting to curve like that? Rounding bottoms are bullish. Does that look familiar?
Sheesh.
So seeing this rounding bottom, seeing a bullish pattern on a support where we bounced before, it just leads me to believe that we're bouncing. We're pretty much bouncing. So I look for patterns at these support and resistance levels. Pretty much, so if I see a bearish pattern, if I was to see, like, let's say something like this, something like that, like a bear flag, I'm thinking if we break around here, you know, we'll go lower, because bear flags for me are bearish. You know, rounding bottoms are bullish for me. I only want to like be long when I'm seeing a bullish pattern. I want to be bear when I'm seeing a bearish pattern. So I use these patterns to pretty much tell me what we're doing. Or I mean, you know, if it's a bullish pattern, we're obviously bullish or doing something bullish. Same here. If you were to notice this, one time we bounced here. Well, we bounced twice. You probably wouldn't have noticed here on this bounce. Maybe on this one, you probably would have caught it. But it's an Adam and Eve. It's pretty much this. And I actually called this out like a few weeks ago. Yeah, man. Hey, man, you guys, you 8 people that are in here, fucking. You guys, hopefully you're picking something up, man. I'm trying to drop as much game as I can in such little time, but there's not enough time in the world. So this is back to this pattern right here. We're pretty much on the trend line where we bounced previously, right? I noticed that we have this Adam and Eve pattern. It's pretty much this V, and it rounds off like this. Has a neckline. Your entry's here. You'll take it for a breakout there. But just seeing the big pattern, I don't wait to take the breakout on these higher time frames. I look at these just to gauge my direction. If I'm seeing a double bottom or an Adam and Eve or whatever, I'm like, okay, it's a bullish pattern. I think we're going upside. So I'm gonna be scalping my ass to the upside. You know what I mean? Versus if I saw bear flag, I'm gonna be scalping to the downside. So here, this pattern is this one right here. Does that ring a bell? So pretty much, yeah. So I'm looking for these patterns. This is a reversal pattern. So you have your continuation patterns, you have reversal patterns, and then your neutral patterns. So double bottoms are pretty much like this. I don't have my little tool. It'll be like this. Why is it called double bottom? Because it just hit twice. So those reverse. So this is technically a double bottom, but to get more technical, this double bottom is considered an Adam and Eve double bottom. Still doing the same shit. You break this neckline. That's where, you know, you're supposed to go upside. Right here, we really didn't go any higher. We were supposed to, but can't control the market. So right here, we're double bottoming. We're forming a Adam and Eve or double bottom on the trend line where we previously bounced. So it's leading me to believe that, okay, we're reversing. Then right here, we rejected the top of this trend line. Rejected. It was nice. It was a nice asymmetrical triangle. We just fell to break to the upside and break this bigger trend line to the upside. So that's why we got fucking rejected hard. Stupid hard. But now we're retesting. You see, now we're retesting this area we previously bounced at. So now, what's not to say that, you know, now we're actually going to go for this fucking break. Because first of all, we have this rounding bottom. Back to this pattern. We have this rounding off right here. Bouncing off this trend line, this major daily trend line. And if you look at the daily, we have a gap to fill to the upside. So there's so much things that's just signifying that, you know, we might go to the upside because we're definitely going to fill this gap. We're doing the rounding bottom and we're bouncing off this trend line again.
I've been seeing that gap for so long.
Yeah, it's been here for 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 days now. 4 days. Yeah, it won't be much, but again, gaps don't always gotta get filled immediately. If you look at
That's what my guess was. Was a break to 388, 390 range, then another fall to recorrect, and then I don't know from there.
388, 390. Let me see. On SPY?
Yeah, so it'd be 3880 to 3900.
Yeah, that'll work around there. 3880. I think if we can break that 383, 384 level tomorrow, we could see it.
I think we get a rug pull in the morning, get a couple sellers, and then we'll fly. That's my personal opinion. We
Yeah.
gotta meet that zone, but we'll see.
Yeah, basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have this go like this. Down to the 1 hour. I see this rounding bottom. I pretty much just wait here. What I would do is wait because we could get a rounding bottom. We could get either this where it's just a straight shot up, or my next favorite reversal pattern is the cup and handle. Is this pattern pretty much? I like that, catching it from the bottom. So this is a reversal pattern. If you catch these at the bottom like this, they go up. So I'm just gonna wait. When I see these rounding bottoms, I don't really like to take just straight rounding tops. Rounding bottoms. I want to wait for maybe a handle to set up. Consolidate in it. Maybe pull down like that a little bit. And then break it to the upside and possibly go for the gap fill. But the cup and handle would be the top of the cup would be like right there. So it'd be pretty much, I'll find a good picture, good example.
Okay.
Yeah, and this one's not the cleanest one, but right now, as far as I'm trying to see what it does in the morning or what it's gonna do tomorrow, it's hard to see. I'm not seeing anything. Nothing's jumping out at me. Very, very choppy. We are holding this trend line right here. That's the only thing I could really make out of ES is pretty much see what it does with this trend line, because that's the only thing right now that it's holding. Right here, this little area, they didn't really touch it. I guess we could scoot it tighter. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing really anything on SPY right now. Maybe potentially there might be something setting up here. Nah, nothing. Let me see QQQ or NQ. NQ is doing the rounding bottom as well. It has a cleaner rounding bottom. I think QQQ might be a better play for tomorrow. QQQ's rounding bottom is beautiful, but like again, I want to see something like this. Cup and handle. And, you know, upside break. Maybe upside break over. Well, that'd probably be my target right there. Something like that. But it's hard to. Most of the time they work out. You know, if I try to pre-dry it out, because I've seen these so many times. But we'll have to wait and see. I wait and see. Like if it starts forming a little channel, then I'm like, okay, we're in the cup and handle. Now I'm gonna wait till we break out of the handle. Pretty much, I'm gonna enter here. I'll probably take puts here. Take profit there. So NQ, I'm not seeing anything. I can just run a little scan real fast, like a 1 hour scan, just to see if we see anything good for tomorrow. Ford, only play Ford, but Ford is doing a ascending triangle right here. Look at that, and it's squeezing on the hourly. If Ford breaks above this 12.4 level, it could go. So right here, you can see that we're holding this. We bounced off this. Right here, we're either going to break up or we're going to reject, come back down for one last bounce, and then break up. Or we're going to just come back down and break down. So really, you have to have multiple scenarios in your head, you know, like and have a plan for different different breaks, different sides. And you know what it could do. So in this case, you have 3 different things it could do. It could reject here, come back down one last bounce and then break it, or it could just rip right through it, or it could just reject it and break downside. Really, you won't know if it takes downside until it gets there. Really, you won't know it's gonna bounce until it gets here. Really, you won't know it's gonna break until it gets there. You just have to see what it does at that level, at that time. At that time it's touching it. If you feel like it's gonna break it, then you know, take a call. So Ford is looking really good for tomorrow. I might try to find some a cheap play for Ford tomorrow. Like it. I like Ford. I'm gonna put that over here. Okay, running on the scans. Let's see. PBR, don't play them. Comcast, don't play them. Don't play any other shit. Any other stuff. Datadog, eBay. No. QCOM. QCOM has a like a bear flag set up here. Looks like the channel, 1 hour channel. This one you can take puts on the break of this channel to the downside. Up channels, I only like to play downside breaks. I don't want to play upside breaks. They're weird. Down channels like that, I only play upside breaks. This is a up channel, down channel. Price would have been coming down, up and up. Let's see. Ford looks like the best one so far, but I just hate playing cheap ass stocks. Contracts be weird. 1 hour squeeze, extended. AMD, SPY squeezing on the hourly. Okay, so SPY. Yeah, I guess it's pretty much in the same shit futures. It's doing. Not really seeing nothing I like on SPY right now. AMD. AMD's rounding off too. Shit, everything might be rounding off. Let's see NVIDIA. NVIDIA is rounding off. Tesla. Rounding off. Shop. Rounding off. Amazon.
So the market's headed into bullish territory, you're saying?
Yeah, and with Amazon breaking too, Amazon
Yeah,
influences SPY pretty heavy, so yeah. Damn, yeah, this is what I called out this morning, man. So I only played it from here to here, literally from here to here, these 2 little lines. I wish I fucking held. I had a target here. I knew it was gonna hit 108 because of the gap fill. We had a daily gap fill right here. Actually ended up filling the gap. It was that Adam and Eve pattern I was just showing.
Mhm.
So it was that pattern plus this right here. So it's pretty much, I had this. I tried it on mobile. The Adam and Eve, the pointy bottom, the round. They had this gap to fill to the upside. Oh no, this gap right here. This is a gap. And then it eventually filled that shit. But I didn't get to play the gap. I just called it out on there. Actually, I think yeah, that was a third play I called out today. Let's see, AMD. We're gonna go down to the hourly. Do a quick scan. In the chat. Personally, I take Ford long. I've scouted Ford. It moves sometimes. Yeah, when the contracts, like if you pull up Ford, maybe with that you'll be able to see some of these Ford contracts might be heavy. Like these, look at these 12.5s. Look at that fucking volume, 28,000. So there's obviously some interest here on Ford. I gotta see how they look in the morning though. I don't like to really look at the after hours. We go down to Apple hourly. And you can see the ones with the lines that actually have lines are the ones I play most. Because I just have my level set and I'm just playing them every day based off these levels. Nothing, I don't see nothing on Apple. Nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. And I'm pretty fast at scanning, man, so you're probably like skipping all this shit. My eyes just picked shit up pretty fast. What's over here? TTD. I don't really play TTD, but look, TTD. Just compare this with Ford. I know it's not the same shit, but look at this pattern. Ascending triangle. That's why knowing your patterns is important. If I spell that wrong. Same shit. And now look at Ford. What do you think Ford's gonna do? But remember, like I said, these are neutral patterns. These can break either side. Most of the time, if it's coming from the downside, they're gonna break downside and act as a continuation pattern. When it's coming from the upside and it drops a ascending triangle, most of the time it's gonna break upside. If it's coming from the bottom to the top, consolidate, continuation. Pretty much drop, consolidate, continuation. So this one, but they could break either side, so you just have to be prepared to take either side. I'm not seeing anything else other than Ford as far as a good name goes. Like they have all these other stocks, but their contracts could be trash. Costco here is in the channel. Costco's in this channel. Costco, if Costco breaks over here, this area to the downside, you can probably short it to about 449. Pretty much this previous low spot that it hit. That'd be a good target. I don't like Costco. I don't really play Costco. Duncan. No, that's not Duncan. Right here. Cat looks like a pretty solid move. So right here, you can obviously see we have a support, right? If you were to take the straight line and just go right here, all those candlesticks just line up perfectly. And now if you were to take a line here and connect all these top points, what do you have? Descending triangle. So what can you expect from this? What did Amazon do on the descending triangle? Or look at Cat. Remember, like I said, these could be upside breaks or downside. Oh, look at this line, how beautifully it rejected here. All right, and now if you connect the line here, you can see that we have a good level here, good level here. So now if we were to take downside, if this comes down and breaks this floor or that pattern, your target's here. I don't have any level for upside here. I have to go back and actually mark the levels. But pretty much if this breaks here, upside, next target would probably be right here. Looks like a pretty good level. This is one good target. And then you have the top of the actual pattern. But you pretty much would get in here, either scalp it to here or write it up here. Not scalp it, day trade it, because this is an hourly chart. But yeah, Cat looks good. Shit, fuck. I'm a Cat contracts, they fucking move crazy, man. They fucking move crazy. So Cat's on watch tomorrow. And if we get a nice break like Amazon to the upside on that descending triangle, it's gonna be crazy. SPOK, Costco. I seen another good name that I know. I'm trying to find it. Seen a name that I'm familiar with around here. Maybe I may play tomorrow. Actually, I forgot. It's 2 days to my wedding, so tomorrow I got a lot. Friday is when I get married. Nothing. I'm not seeing anything else. We'll do one last scan on the 4 hour just to see if there's any other good potential plays. We're gonna go down the 4 hour. QQQ, beautiful round and bottom on the 4 hour. Holy shit. That's fucking. I would like to get all up in that. All right, so this is a rounding top. That's a good. SH is the inverse of SPY. So if SH is going up, SPY is going down. If SH is going down, SPY is going up. So this is pretty much the opposite of a rounding bottom is a rounding top. That's the opposite. So rounding tops are bearish. When you see these at the tops, just know price is gonna freaking go down. It's the same thing as I don't even want to search it. It's self-explanatory. If you guys want to search it, you got it. PSQ, I don't know what the fuck PSQ is, but they look like they're an inverse of something. Oh, probably an inverse of QQQ, PSQ. I'll keep that. I'm just gonna research that real quick. So I do use SH. Okay, RIP RIVN, 4 hour. It's squeezing. Oh, beautiful. I think it's bouncing off a Fibonacci level. Let me see. $38.2. I think we need a break here. Potentially retest 30, 31. I like RIVN here. Let me see what it looks like on a daily. Trying to make something out of this. I don't really like it. It's a little funky, but the 4 hour, just looking at this 4 hour, I can see that we're in a channel. Pretty much in this channel, just chopping around in here, just so what I could expect is maybe another bounce around here, maybe here-ish around here in this trend line. Possibly break this channel to retest this upper trend line where we had rejected. So Rivian looks good for a breakout out of this channel. Think above like 29, or if it pulls back down and then it breaks back above 28.3, should go good. It still needs some time though to set up. RIVN. That's it for the 4 hours. QQQ, who's just doing the round and bottom. We'll do my other last 4 hour squeeze scanner, and that'll be it. Nothing. Jesus. Usually I'm able to find like 1,000 setups, but the market's been so trash lately. So yeah, no, nothing. I'm not seeing anything. The only good solid setups I'm seeing right now, it's gonna be Ford and Cat. What do we have Cat for on the descending triangle break? Cat, Ford on a ascending triangle break. So ascending triangle has a flat top and it's going up. Descending triangle has a bottom and it's going down. But they both break either side, so just keep that in mind. Any other questions? One last question before I go. We're good. Cool. Well, I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed this session. I know it probably wasn't. I mean, shit, I don't know. I try to give out as much information as I can. This is like my second class, so just bear with me. Pinky's up for tomorrow. Yeah, man. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm just gonna watch Cat. I'm gonna watch Amazon, and I'm gonna watch Ford, pretty much. If I see anything I like, I'll signal it to the group. But yeah, there you guys have it. question and answers. This is gonna be uploaded to YouTube too. So if you guys want a copy of it, just keep an eye out in my channel. I'll drop the link there. Should be up there by tomorrow. But yeah, hope you guys have a good night. Hit me up, DM me if you guys have any questions. I'm always here to help. Appreciate you guys being here. And you know, join us for live trading sometimes. I'm not gonna live trade the rest of this week because like I said, I got my wedding. We'll be back at it Monday, so feel free to join us for live trading. You guys be safe. Good night. I think I'm gonna cut it off here. Yes, sir. You're welcome, brother. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, go smash those fucking emojis. I'm just playing. All right, man. Y'all take care. I'm out of here.